your smart speakers. You can download the podcast. What's going on? Good morning, Keith.
What up,
good morning,
baby?
Jay.
Good morning.
Morning.
See,
Long weekend.
yeah, I see that, Jay.
Yeah, emotional.
I see
A lot of
that.
stuff going on.
Weird, man. All right, let's not jump right into the result. What was it like, man? There you are. You're one of how many players at Duke even have their number retired?
I think it's like eight.
Seven or eight people at Duke with their number retired. Duke basketball, two-time player of the year. You won the national title with Coach K. It's his last home game. There you are with everybody. And what was it like?
Well, it sucked because we got smacked, to be honest with you. But the moment before that, it was just great being around all my old teammates. You know, Shane Battier, Mike Dunleavy, Carlos Boozer. Some guys couldn't come back because they were either coaching or playing, but having G. Hill, Grant Hill, Christian Leitner in the locker room, all Coach K, his family. It was a surreal moment to have 90 of us together. The intro was one of the dopest things I've ever seen because we all formed like an alleyway essentially for him to walk out in. Everybody had their phones out. We were taking videos of it. There's a lot of hoopla before the game, which was very abnormal for Coach K. He doesn't like any of that type of stuff, right? He's going into battle. He wants to focus on the game, and you could just tell, man, like the moment for this young basketball team looked overwhelming for everything that came. There was a Super Bowl feeling to it, Max. I mean, everything from outside, it was packed with fans, kids. I mean, cameras. It was like a Super Bowl.
You think afterwards Coach K is there cursing, talking about, see, this is why I don't like all this stuff. Look at what happens. Was it like that?
It was just one of those, man, like all of us former players, and I get it. Like, we've all been on the wrong side of it. We've all felt this wrath of Coach K. But the one thing that was disappointing from our perspective was, damn, man, like, just show some fight. It was almost as if our team just looked young and they were out there. Like, UNC ran the same set multiple times, scored on it. We just came down offensively. We were one-dimensional. We had no ball movement. It was like, hey, Paolo, score, or nobody else did anything. We lacked the leadership, and I think that was probably the most infuriating, frustrating moment for him. But I'll tell you this. Like, there's a meme of me calling timeout, right? They went, like, on a pretty big run. I'm saying, call timeout, call timeout, call timeout. And he didn't call timeout. And almost in a way, it was like, he was like, okay, go. You guys want to play that way? You don't want to respect the game that way? Go ahead. Play this way.
Yeah.
Man, I saw you, though. You had your little white shirt on, sitting there cheesing from ear to ear and acting like you went to Duke, and not just walked through the campus. It was pretty interesting to see. But you know what? As he said, it's not over with yet. Y'all still got the tournament and all that stuff. So cap it off with a national championship, and it'll be sweet.
Yeah, we ain't win no championship.
All forgotten. It did. I checked in on you here and there. It was. It looked like. I thought this about the Nets also against the Celtics. It felt like a game like striking distance back. Like not that bad. Never happened. The flip never switched.
Davis, Manic, Baycott. They had four starters at 80 points.
Yeah.
And then the most kind of like real moment was after the game was over. Obviously, there's all these, this award ceremony where they present Coach K with all these different things from the alumni. And, I mean, he came out and he put all the Duke players not on our bench, on the bench that North Carolina sat on, first off, which you never see that. And then he did the whole impromptu speech, which was just one of the realest things you've ever heard and would never expect Coach K to say on the night of his last game at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
We're going to hear that in 30 minutes, by the way, here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Speaking of Duke, and I mentioned the Celtics and the Nets.
A bright spot.
Jayson Tatum will join us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, fresh off his 54 that he dropped against the Nets. Ooh. And it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Here is Jayson Tatum on ABC after dropping, again, 54 on Brooklyn's head. Listen.
It's fun the way we playing. Obviously, we've been on a good stretch. Everybody's been healthy, and we're just having fun competing. You know, it wasn't always pretty today, but everybody contributed, and we just figured it out. Those are the best wins when you just figure it out, find a way to win, however, whatever it takes. And that's what we did.
So a month ago, I was about to get ready to go on First Take, and we were talking about what's happening around the league. And I said it to one of our producers. I'm like, yo, the Boston Celtics can end up finishing top 3 in the East when this thing is said and done, just because of the way they have been playing. Derek White that came over from the Spurs, Marcus coming back, smart, defensive tenacities, bringing to the table Jaylen Brown. Everybody kept talking about breaking up Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. I'm like, man, look, that's not the answer. He got 2 incredible wings that can defend and score at a high rate. And as much as we talk about Ja Morant, as much as we talk about Luka Doncic, as much as we talk about all these young players that are going to be the face of the league, we don't really mention the name Jayson Tatum anymore. And it's been blowing my mind because last night for him to have 54, he is one. Like, he reminds me so much of Kobe. That's why when we talk about what kind of trades should the Lakers make or try to go for, I'm not saying the Boston Celtics will ever go for, but there's so much of that in the way he plays, and he put on size and frame now. His game's just built to be one of the best.
Game is so smooth, Key. Jayson Tatum's offense, he's got a counter for whatever you want to throw at him. He's got it.
Well, it's time. I hate to say it this way, but it's about time because, a year or two ago, we was all wondering if he would take the mantle from the Celtics and be the guy, be the leader, be that guy. That's what they was missing a couple years ago. They didn't have that alpha dog, so to speak, and I think a lot of us was looking for Jayson Tatum to be the guy. And clearly this year, he's showing that. Just look at his career statistics everywhere is at the top for him this year. He's dropping 27 points a game on your head. So I think as so to speak, the light has turned on for him. I know he was a baller from the beginning, but not at this level, meaning he's taking control of exactly who he is.
What about that, Jay? I always thought Tatum could eventually be the best offensive player on a championship team, right? It looked that way to me. But I know what Key is talking about. It's like something has there's the skills package, but then there's also the mentality that has to come together at a certain point. Usually it doesn't happen your rookie year.
He's always had the mentality, though. He's always been that dude that wants the ball down the stretch, not afraid of the big moments. We see a lot of people shy away from big moments. That's not who Jayson Tatum is. I think it was a matter of how they're playing. Marcus Smart is a pivotal. He is the Draymond Green to the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors have lost their last 8 of 10 games because they're missing their quarterback, and that's what Marcus Smart is to a degree. He leads huddles. And Jayson and Jaylen are still, but Jaylen Brown also, he made a dagger shot last night to close it out. So you have the pieces where it feels like they're actually working together. Al Horford, pick and pop kind of player. Robert Williams, long, athletic, can block shots.
Time Lord.
Yeah, you have the pieces that actually fit now.
The hardest thing to find is a two-way wing. And if you have 2 of them at an all-star level, got to start paying attention to these Celtics for real. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. Aaron Rodgers actually led a teammate to a ring this weekend. That's next on ESPN2. Don't go away because we're back in just 2 minutes on most ESPN radio stations after Jay has this from Granger. That's right, I said 2 minutes.
For all the ones who get it done, Granger is always there to help. Granger offers supplies and solutions for every industry.